Oh wow, that's it. We're live. We're
Live!
live. Oh yeah.
Welcome on this warm day. You've got both myself and Nikkei. I think we're both kind of feeling the heat today. Both doing different things. But we're here. We're live. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Pamtango Radio. And having a quick chat with some young people that are graduating. What we hope to do all through the summer holidays is chat to people for anyone that's actually then graduated. So we've got a couple of people that are in our group that have taken on courses later on in life. But yes, so we're talking to. We've got one of them that's on the screen at the moment. One of us knows him quite well, and the other one doesn't. So we're going to find out lots. Well, I hope you know him quite well, Nikkei.
Oh, that was the test, isn't it? That was the test. That's why it's good that there's questions and we let the guests lead. You see, so
Yeah.
there you have it. Oh my days!
So
yeah,
we'll get on with the show. I'll pop off, and then I'll leave you two to have a good old natter.
Oh, good.
Oh wow! Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. So yes, for those of you who have been watching us before, my name is Nikki, and I am here with I do know the guest very well because he is my godson, my second godchild. So, and his name is Toju Adeneye. He has so he's one of the part of the future. He has just graduated from the University of East Anglia. So Toju, obviously I know you, but everybody listening doesn't. So why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Right. Hi, everyone. My name's Toju. Nick just mentioned I've just graduated from the University of East Anglia. I was studying politics, philosophy, and economics. I'm looking to go into financial services. I have a keen interest in sports. I play a lot of football. I'm a Man United fan. Also an avid gym goer. Like to run now and then. And I'm looking forward to the show and answering any questions people have about university and anything in general.
All right. Okay. All right then. So with your so if we go straight to the kill, so to speak, with you just graduated from university, first of all, could you just give us an overview of the experience? How did you find it?
Okay.
Was that your first time away from home?
Fun?
So was that your first time away from home?
Yes. I guess for an extended period of time, that was my first time. Of course, I'd gone on school trips and holidays without my parents, but that was my first time extended away from home. So at the start, you're quite nervous. You need to make new friends. You're leaving behind all your friends and the comfort from home. There's the adjustment of cooking for yourself, going to lectures, which is no one's going to tell you to go to, just like how it was in school where they tell you to be here and here. Here's your schedule and you go if you want to go. So I guess adjusting at the start was a bit difficult, but as time goes on, you get used to the cooking. You find your basic meals that you can go to, and overall, I enjoyed my experience. I grew into it every year. Got better and better. I'd say for myself, it was really good.
So, if, for example, a young person came up to you and they were thinking, "Oh, I want to go to university, but I'm not sure," what would you say to them?
It's a good question. I was exactly the same. I wanted to do an apprenticeship in financial services instead of going to university. It's only because I didn't get that I took the university route. And I'd say to that question, if you're unsure, unless you have something else that you've decided to do, then definitely go to university and experience it. If there's a course that piques your interest, I'd say it's worth a go. You're gonna meet great friends, people for life actually. You're gonna learn a lot about yourself. There's a lot of tests at uni, living by yourself. What else would I say? I guess a lot of my friends say to me it's brought a different side out to them. They want to be who they are without the university experience. So say definitely worth a go.
Right. Okay. So, what would you say was one of your biggest challenges that could help somebody else?
Oh, Okay, biggest challenges. Ooh, that's a great question.
Okay, never mind. We can come back to that one if you're not prepared, because this is how we roll on the show. We don't prepare questions in advance.
Yeah.
Just from listening to, bearing in mind that I actually know him anyway, but it was just from listening to his answer. That's where that question came from. So,
Okay. No, I think our biggest challenge.
Yeah.
I would say managing my social life with my academic life. At uni, you have a lot of academic work, but then again, you're also trying to make friends and see people. And again, because it's not as rigid as secondary school, can sometimes kind of lose focus of, it's not a 9 to 5 and then you're done. You can work whenever. So if you're not focused and you don't set a timetable, can easily get distracted. Loads of distractions at university. There's the clubbing, the partying, sports, or just meeting people in general. So I'd say one of my biggest challenges at the start was how can I effectively manage my time and then still have fun. So first year, I'd say I didn't do that properly. But luckily, it was only first year. But over the last 2 years, where it was most important, I was able to set that balance of, cool, when I get this particular amount of work, I know when it's due, I know how much I need to do per week. And when that's done, I can see my friends. So I'd say that was one of my biggest challenges that I overcame and would advise people to watch out for.
Okay. So, with all the distractions at university, because like you mentioned, the clubs, like the sporting clubs, social clubs, were there any political clubs or other economic type of clubs that you were interested in, or did anything ever happen that you felt that you had to?
That I liked.
Yeah, or that you had to champion the cause of it, so to speak.
Okay, yes. So I joined two societies, actually three. I joined the Afro-Caribbean Society, which was really great. You meet people who are from your similar kind of background, same heritage. So that was good to meet people just like me. And I guess a city that's not dominated by, what's the word, by ethnic minorities. I also joined the UEA Finance and Investment Society, which was very interesting as my career path is to go into financial services. So I got a taste of what it's like to invest. They gave you chances to have dummy money and invest that into companies, and I guess it was a good practice for the future. And lastly, I joined the Football Society, which was fun in parts. It was a bit laddish, and there's a lot of partying and outgoing, which wasn't always me at times. So I didn't always do the partying, but the football side I quite enjoyed. So those three societies, Afro-Caribbean Society, known as ACS, UEA Finance and Investment, and football were my three most that I enjoyed the most. Oh, good question.
Okay, you had a question there. Could you cook before you went to university?
The extent of my cooking before university consisted of just a fry up, egg, bacon, sausage, and I can make oven food. That was it. I could make pasta, but I didn't make pasta. I didn't cook rice. I didn't cook stew, sauce, and chicken. When I got to university, I was thrown in the deep end. So don't worry, you can learn on the job.
Okay, so we've got a question here from a colleague friend of mine, Stephanie. She says some young ones are not academic and get out of further studies. What would you advise?
Okay, so potentially not going through the university route.
Well, yeah, there's that. Well, sometimes it depends. If you're not academic, you might not focus on the academia, even though you want to achieve something. And a lot of people think the only way of achieving something is when you go to uni or go. So, what would you advise them?
I'd say, because I see myself, I didn't believe I was the most academic person. And when I got to uni again, struggle a bit at the start, but you grow into it. You find help from your lecturers, you find help from students in your class. I was very nervous about my course. A lot of maths that was based in my economics I struggled with at the start, but just with time and patience, you get better at it. So I wouldn't worry too much about the academic side. As long as you put time and effort into it, you'll be fine. And then again, the great thing about uni is the social side too. So it's not just strictly academics like how it was in secondary and sixth form. There's societies, there's football teams, loads of sports teams, a lot of social events that help you balance it and take away the pressure of the academic side. But if you wouldn't like to go to university, there's the options of apprenticeships in all sorts of different industries. It could be finance, law, hands-on jobs like plumbers, electricians. So there's a whole different wide range of spectrum, should I say, if you're not as academic.
Yeah, or as financially able. So Stephanie brought up the thing about finance, and you mentioned about being part of the finance club. So how were you at managing your money before you went to uni, and how are you now, or are you still the same?
Before uni, or with no responsibilities, I got money, had my weekly allowance for lunch. But if I received any large sums, maybe birthday or Christmas money, that'd be spent straight away. I don't know, clothes, shoes. I wasn't saving my money. Well, I might save a tiny bit, but I guess when I got my first job in the summer of 2018, I did save money, and that's when I first began saving. But that would always turn into money spent later on. I'd say my uni teaches you how to really manage your money, because you've got bills to pay, you've got shopping to do on a weekly basis, which you don't do when you're at home. You have to pay to do your laundry now. So it really improved my financial skills, especially second and third year, where I'm living in my own house with my friends. A whole wide range of bills you have to pay for. So much better now, and you need to save, you need to budget. That's what it really teaches you, how to budget your money because of so many costs. So much better now, but before not so good.
And so where Stephanie's put there could be financial constraints, I suppose, like with the grant system. Is there anything that you wish you had known, whether it's about money or about socials, about academic, before you went to uni that perhaps you didn't know?
I wish I saved up more money before I went in first year. I saved up enough, but I wish I saved up more. I assume the maintenance loan you get for the whole year is, I thought that was just to cover your food expenses or just for living, and then your parents will just pay for your rent. But I thought, so that's just for me to live and do what I want with, and I can do whatever. But I soon learned that you're supposed to pay your rent and live on that money. So you need to, work before then. If you're going to go in first year, work before that summer. And if you can, maybe work a bit during uni. So I wish I knew that. But also, there's a lot of schemes such as grants and bursaries, which they give to people from underprivileged areas or areas where people don't go to university as much, where they can give you maybe per term up to £1,000. It really depends where you live. So there's a lot of different schemes to help you financially. But one thing for sure is to come with extra money. Exactly, bills.
Okay, that's really good. So I think I've got one more question that comes to mind. It is again around what you would know, because I was just thinking about what Stephanie said there. What about, okay, I'm a bit biased here. I'm going to, let me just be transparent there. His mom is my best friend we were best friends we met in school back in Nigeria and on the Isle of Wight. Okay, so, but bearing in mind, I'm just trying to ask the question. So I don't want you to think, well, you must know that. What about if you do not have, if you have a dream, but it's not supported by your parents or your immediate peer set? For example, I don't know, maybe you want to be a gamer. I don't think you have to go to university for that. Or you want to be a YouTuber. I'm just thinking, the kind of things that will be frowned upon in our peer society. What kind of advice would you give them, bearing in mind that now you've gone through the university system?
I'd say you need to follow what you love. I've seen loads of people go to university, loads of friends, not loads, but a few. They've gone because their parents wanted them to go, and then they've dropped out because they didn't enjoy it. And that's just a waste of time for yourself, a waste of money, and it causes a lot of mental stress. Well, I've just seen people, within my flats, they didn't enjoy what they were doing. They only went because of their parents. So I'd say you need to follow what you enjoy, something that you're gonna love, that you can stick to, because something like uni is 3 years. You need to enjoy it to a degree. I'd advise, if you want to do something like gaming or YouTube, and maybe your parents or peers don't approve, maybe have something on the side where you're working. So you have a full-time job potentially, and then you do I guess, your interest or hobby on the side. So when you bring that to a particular level, you can bring that to your parents and say, cool, I'm making so-and-so amount of money from this stream. I'm going to stop working. But at least when they see you having a normal job, they can say, okay, he's working his normal job, but he has his interest in side hustle on the side. So he's doing both. I wouldn't say just do one, because, you never know what can happen. So that's what I'd recommend.
Wow, that's fantastic. Thank you. Is there any one last thing that you would like to share with anybody? Just don't tell them what a terrible godmother I was, but you can tell them.
I would just say be open to anything. That's something I learned at uni. Don't close your mind off to people. Don't judge people by how they look. Don't judge opportunities by how they look at first. Just any opportunity, just say yes to it. Meet new people, be open to it, because that's how you meet people you never thought you'd be friends with, or go through doors you never thought would be open for you. So just be open and take every opportunity and enjoy yourself. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Fantastic. Can I just one very quick question?
Sure.
So you've done the politics, you're going on to finance. That's your kind of like the job that you want to do. What are you doing right now? Time? Jobs?
Oh, sorry, you're breaking up a bit, Shelley.
Oh, right. So it's Shelley, it's not me.
So are you taking some time? Are you finding jobs?
Okay, good question. Yes, so since last November, I've been applying for grad jobs. So I want to start, as soon as possible. Ideally September. Had a lot of interviews throughout the summer. Been close to getting to the final round, then I quite haven't got it. In fact, I actually got an email today saying they want me to come in on Thursday. So it's been quite stressful, as I would have liked to secure the job earlier. But I'm just working hard towards that to secure a cool role. I know once I get my foot through the door, then I'll be okay. But yeah, looking to go straight into working. Bit nervous about managing the work-life balance.
Yeah.
Because once you work, you don't stop.
Yet if it's not come along, it's out there.
Exactly.
It's out there.
Wow, thank you. That's very insightful. I could have done with some of that advice before I went to uni. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, guys.
Right then. Okay, so
don't run off anywhere. We've got Honey May that's coming on. I'll just bring her on now, and then drop you off. But don't go anywhere, because we can have a chat.
I'll stay here. Okay. Let me mute myself.
Hi, Honey May.
Hiya.
Hi.
So we have one of our women in the house this afternoon. Honey May is in our second book, and she's another one that's just graduated. Do you want to give a very quick bit about what you do, Honey May, and where you've just graduated from?
So, like Shelley said, I'm Honey May, and I've graduated from Chicken Chef Theatre, which is a drama college.
Have you been at the Chicken Shed?
I've been doing a lot of performing arts. I perform for little children, and I'm just doing a summer pantomime called Cinderella in Boots, and I also do something called Tues Lunchtime Story World, which it was the pilot to Charles and the Shed, excuse me, and a brand new show called Sound Adventures that we're working on.
Wow. For those that don't know what the Chicken Shed Theatre Company is, do you want to explain? You're cracking up a little bit. Or do
I
you want
know,
us
this
to?
sounds really bad. Anyways, as I was saying, Chicken Shed is a place of performing arts where anyone can join. Like if they want to do children's, we also do something called children's theatre, youth theatre, the weekend itch where anybody can join, and living letters for older people and any other people. And there's also adult theatre when anybody of the adults can join.
It's all fully inclusive, isn't it? So no matter what backgrounds, what abilities or disabilities or
Yeah.
anything,
Yeah, no matter
everything.
what background or wherever you come from, Chicken Shed is very inclusive.
So we've graduated. What are your plans next?
Well, I'm doing the
still
BA
there?
this year. I'm doing the BA this year, but I'll still come back and do like tales and shows and Christmas shows and spring shows, but my big dream job is to become a children's TV presenter on anywhere, CBB, CBBC, or Nick Jr. or voiceover, but definitely Milkshake on Channel 5 because I do love Milkshake on Channel 5.
So it's Chicken Shed, but hopefully will allow you to do. It's, you've had quite a lot of people come through from there before, haven't you? So, doing bits and pieces like with people famous from there.
Yes, lots of famous people have visited Chicken Shed loads of times, and it's been quite amazing to see their reactions to all the shows we've been putting on, and not just the shows we've been putting on, but just finding out about it.
Yeah, I think people are quite surprised at what shows that you do put on there because they think, oh, it's just theatre, it's just a little theatre company, but it's not. You put on some really
It's a
big
massive
shows in there.
It's massive and inclusive.
What I was just doing is I'm going to put the website in the chat because I was trying to think where the picture was, but it's on the front page of your website. You'll actually see how many productions they put on at the ticket, and you'll actually see that there's all fully inclusive. Whether you're in a wheelchair, you want to take part, that you can be in there.
Yeah, it's, like I say, it's for anybody. It's for anyone. And we also go to other places as well. We do workshops with different drum schools, or we might do thanks Stephanie. We might do shows for them. Our biggest one that we tour at the minute is something called Crime of the Century, which is about knife crime, and also Tales do a lot of that stuff. We perform for school kids, like nursery and like children's schools for Tales and all that.
You're telling me Honey May goes on the road?
It's not just me; it's any other student as well, because we have students, we have teachers, and just support staff as well for all the people who go on the different buses and coaches to perform anywhere.
And do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself? Because we talked about Chicken Shed, we haven't talked about you.
I'm Honey May. It's so good to see you, everyone. And I'm 20 years old. I am in the book Live Out of Lockdown 2, Chapter 21. And I love rainbows, I love drawing, I love colouring, I love cooking, I love baking, I love practicing sign language, and I just like being me. And Oh, I'm also autistic. I'm on the autistic spectrum.
Well done.
I think you've definitely found your thing by going to the theatre. But I think it's definitely you. That's definitely what you doing. I think we all know that in our group.
Mm.
Oh, right. Okay, we've got
Yeah.
a question. Now, I don't ask this sometimes because I might get loads and loads of pictures, but what's your favourite thing to cook?
I like lots of things to cook, but one of them is my Thai green curry, and it made the Heartlands High School magazine.
Oh wow, that's really good. That's really good.
It's nothing rainbow related. I was expecting something big, elaborate thing with lots of different colours.
Of course.
I do get quite a lot of WhatsApps, don't I? We share lots of different recipes that are bright colours.
Wow.
That's me, Jay. That's me. That's me. That's me. That's me.
So, Hadame, I've got one question for you.
What's that then?
Who is your favorite child's TV presenter?
I have lots because I've made friends with them actually.
Oh
One
wow.
of them is a presenter called David Ribby, who does Milkshake, and yeah, I was his biggest fan. So I went when it was back in 2017. He was the new presenter on Milkshake, and I instantly fell in love with the guy. He is so funny. He does the most funniest voices. He just loves acting silly in front of the camera. One time I went to Milkshake Ride the Magic Storybook, which was a show they were doing, and David Ribby walked past my mum and dad's car, and my mum tried to chase him down and say that my daughter is the biggest fan of you. But I was too shy to ask for a picture, so I left him like a little heart, and he put it on his Instagram saying, "I just received a heart. Whoever did this, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the show." And so my mum told David it was from my diva, and he said, like, "Oh, please give her a big hello from me and tell her she gets a very special thumbs up from me." And then we saw that he was in Peter Pan at the Marlow Theatre, and I got before it was Peter Pan. When it was ever David on Milkshake, my mum would send him tweets saying, "Oh my goodness, my daughter is very happy because you were on there. You got a very happy diva." And when we went to see him in Peter Pan, I gave him Toblerone because he loves chocolate Toblerone. And also, I met two new friends. One was Samantha Dorrance, who worked on Disney Channel, and Joe Wasmond, who was on Doctor Who. And when David received the Toblerone, he was like, "Was it you that sent me those chocolate treats? Thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you, but anyways, happy Christmas, have a good day." Then, when it was his birthday, I sent him a card to the Milkshake Studio, and that was when he got to say my name on his Instagram. He said, "I just received the loveliest birthday letter from Little Miss Ruby Slippers at the Milkshake TV studio. Thank you very much." It put a massive smile on my face, and I was so excited. I had to tell my mum straight away. Then, when it was near Christmas time, I was at my auntie and uncle's house, and my mum told me that we was going to see Peter Pan in Sheffield, and David told my mum that he's going to give me and my mum a backstage tour on in Sheffield theatres. So we watched the show. It was brilliant, and so we were getting ready to go backstage, and the woman was like, "It takes a while for people to get changed." And then the next minute, out of nowhere, David appeared, and he was like, "Oh, hi, Pauline," and he like gave my mum a hug, and then he was like, "Hi, honey Ray." I couldn't speak. I could not speak. I was literally like,
Oh my God.
I got
I
this
don't think I've ever known you not to be able to speak.
My mum was like, wow, my diva can talk so much, but she can't talk to David. Wow. I was just so on. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're my favourite presenter ever. Thank you so much for making me happy. I was almost crying. He's like, oh, don't be silly. Don't be silly. And then I gave him more Toblerone. And the little kid was like, one of the performers was like, I wish I got David that present. And I still met the other two girls, Samantha and Joe Osmond, and they were happy to see me. And David was quite surprised when he heard that I drove all the way from London to Sheffield to see him. But that was the very best highlight of my life. Meeting David Privy and me being gobsmacked.
That is amazing. You don't just follow these people, you find out exactly what their favourite chocolate is, when their birthdays are. You go full in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, just think when you become a famous children's TV program, you might have people to you.
I also have another friend called Kira, who is my cousin Harvey's sister. And she came to Chicken Shed and she watched a few of our shows there. And I became good friends with her as well.
Oh, good.
Because she did some of the Chicken Shed stuff as well.
Perhaps, hopefully, one of these days, someone will see you and type in their auntie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really have a YouTube link for you that's everything you're doing. Have you not sorted out your social media yet?
Sorry?
Have you sorted out your own social media yet so we can see all of your theatre stuff?
I've had my Instagram for quite a while. And it was, it's going quite good. I've made a few theatre friends and I've made a few TV presenter friends.
I just suddenly realised we didn't put it because you're Little Miss Ruby Slippers, aren't you?
Yeah, my auntie Pam Pam helped me come up with that name.
So what's the one that everyone can follow?
Little Miss Ruby Slippers.
Yeah.
Right. Let me look for that now. I've got you.
Nico just checking to see if you've really got you or not. So was there anything else you wanted to say there, Honey? Was there anything you wanted to add, Honey May?
What was that?
I think I've got a problem with my connection, and then you've got a problem with yours.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to add?
Oh, I
Anything
just
you
wanted to say, if you guys want to come to Chicken Shack, it's no audition, it's all inclusive.
Right.
So anyone can come along to the Chicken Shed, want to get involved with any of the projects that they've got. You come along and teach them while we're waiting for your TV career to kick off.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
All right.
I think we've had for having a bit of a funny moment with my connection and Honey May things.
Right. It seems a bit clearer now. So
yeah, I think it's just like the connection part of it on Honey May's device. Yeah, so I think unless there was any other questions that were then out there, we'll wrap this up. I think on Deez is Sunday
Oh, sorry, to answer your question, Patricia, my favourite TV show is it's a show called Blue's Clues, and it was in the 90s, but I wasn't born in the 90s.
I used to watch this too.
Blue's Clues, that is a genuine banging show. Also the Thimbles and Tweenies and Tickabella and Play School and everything. Yeah.
Bring out another Blue's Clues or Blue's Clues. Yeah, Sunday we're at Stockwood Park. There's foodie fair. I'm there with lots of Shelley Scrumptious treats. And I think Patricia's coming along with some of Trishy's bags and bits and pieces that she's sewing that she does. Come along and that's there. As always, if you've
Anyways, guys, I've just got to say goodbye now, so I'm leaving. Bye, guys. And well done to you. Bye.
You too, anyway. Take care.
Bye, guys.
And as always, it's like pop off here and everywhere. Follow us on Insta, Facebook. Sign up to the email subscription. So you get the newsletter months and then in between. On the YouTube, so everything like any of the shows, the Together show, Talk radio show with Dee, they're all on YouTube. And when I get some time, the idea is YouTube will then be filled up with all the other bits and pieces that we've then had recorded. So there should be some more bits and pieces going on there. Yeah, so Trish just turned around and said, yes, she's got her bits and pieces up there. So she does, I think there's all sorts of stuff, that pencil cases and bags and bits and pieces that she then sews herself. So unless there's anything else you want to say, Nico?
Yep, it has been wonderful. So just say thank you to our guests, Koju and to Honey May. And we look forward to hearing what goes on in the future. I'll be expecting all my freebies.
Of course. Thanks for having me on. I enjoyed my time.
Oh dear, there's a bit of a lapse on there on Shelley's connection. But yeah, that's really good. I've got to go back to work now. All the joys.
Enjoy.
All right then. Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you, Shelley.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for the questions.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time. Bye.